Well, we're still in the summer of 1709. We just fought the big battle there with the French from several different angles at once that you've been watching. Now what we've got to do is work out what we're going to do with those that have escaped. First of all, if you remember, I've moved my troops into such a position that I can get them all back to where they came from. I want to do that and also destroy that army, because I really don't want to leave it stood right next to my capital. So we'll just hit those pleasure gardens first on the way back to the fort. So we're going to occupy that fort. There we go. Now I'll make sure my Flanders troops get back into Flanders. So that's defended. No, I can't reach those chaps over there. Okay, so that's Flanders supported again. Just check the taxation levels that we've got now in here, now that we've got Flanders back in there. We've gone down to red, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, we're going to have to reduce the taxation down in there a bit. Interesting thing, isn't it? It looks as though that cavalry unit there won't reach the French, but it does do. It's just because the other army is in its way at the moment. So I've put the pikemen back. I won't be needing those anyway. They're just there to defend the port, as you know. Reduced numbers doesn't cause me a problem either. They're really only, as I say, to defend that port. So I mean, even if they went down to half strength, wouldn't bother me at all. In fact, it would be better for me because it would save me money. Okay, that's the cavalry unit that I've added to them there. Main reason for that is I don't want any of the enemy to be getting away, so I want to be chasing them off with any cavalry. Yep, everything can reach. You can always tell if it reaches, of course, because that bright green circle goes beyond. It goes beyond the enemy unit that you're attacking. Here we go. It annoys me a bit that these have got away in the way that they've got away. They've got away right next to my own capital, which is the most threatening place that they could have gone to, which doesn't strike me as being the behaviour of a routing unit. Hey, let's run towards, I mean, it's like the Confederacy routing towards Washington. It just doesn't make sense, does it, really? Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the turn on there. We'll go through Britain and France, of course. This is the end of summer and it's the beginning of winter in 1709. If you remember, we've landed troops in Mexico, so we'll expect the Spanish to be involved in this change end of turn as well. Here we go, the French attacking my fortress. I do fight this battle, but you've seen a couple of fortress battles against this very same fortress with the very same types of regiments attacking them, so I'm just going straight to the end of that battle there to edit it out and save the time. We'll go over to the Spanish move shortly. Here we go. Normally I don't go as far as the Spanish because they're not relevant to me, but of course we're in Mexico now, and it's quite important at the moment what the Spanish are doing. I want to see if they're going to attack me. If they do attack me, then it'll probably be with a large force, because Mexico is a large place, has a very good income. I'm sure they'll put plenty of troops in there to defend it. And I've only put infantry units up there, as you remember. Here they come, coming down from Mexico to the coast. We're defending the port. We've got no defences in there. can't chase anything off. We've only got infantry. He's got a good mixed force there. Colonial light cavalry. He's got some native musketry men as well. I forget exactly what they're called, auxiliary musket men or something like that. Now they're to be watched out for. They have a longer range than your men, so they can fire at you without you being able to fire back if you don't notice them. I'm rushing through all of this, so that's why you hear the squeaky voices there, because every time I give the command, they're all telling me they're going to obey right away, and of course I've speeded it all up there. We've gone from the original setup and I've moved them towards a village, just this side of the village. The reason for that is that when he comes to attack me, he's got to attack through a village, which means that I should have a nice line formation against people who are trying to reform themselves, having just come between buildings. Also, he's got artillery, if you remember. Now, the artillery aren't going to be able to fire through the buildings, so the buildings in some way are going to protect me as well. He's got cavalry as well. Nobody wants to be fighting cavalry inside towns and villages either, so we're going to use these buildings to defend ourselves against principally against the artillery and the cavalry. Okay, so that's our lines nicely drawn up. Everything seems to be in place. He's got 2 regular infantry units there as well, so we need to make sure that we get a numerical advantage over them if we can. You'll notice the initial shot of the artillery went in there and missed completely. He's got his auxiliary musketeers there. You see how they're firing at me. I'm not able to return fire, so I'm getting in there as quickly as possible so I can fire back at him. Otherwise he's just going to be depleting me without me being able to fire back. Just take a bit of a pause so we can work out how we can reform our troops so that we can get a maximum effect against that regular infantry unit that's there at the front. There goes the artillery again, over the top. Well, it looks like there's a flattened building. Oh no, it's not, it's just a shade. I thought it was a flattened building. It's absolutely lagging it down, as we call it. So it's difficult to see this battle. Just have to follow the flags on the top. I noticed that we're taking a lot of fire from that left-hand side, and we don't seem to be giving much back, which is worrying me. I've just discovered that what's happening is a very small portion of that unit on the right-hand side we're firing at the infantry just to the right of it instead, and so basically the whole of the infantry unit there was involved in firing at just a few people at that unit to the right, and not giving any fire back to those auxiliary musketeers. That's meant we've taken very heavy losses from there, because he's simply been piling in shot from those auxiliary musketeers while I haven't been able to return fire. I thought maybe the best thing to do, because I was suffering so badly and I still had more men than him, was to get him to put blood bayonets in and charge in, but unfortunately his Indians there, those auxiliaries, managed to fire at me before I went in, broke my morale, fired at me again as I was leaving, so my poor chaps have suffered there very badly, in just the kind of way that I should have been prepared for, really. So we've got a 2-on-1 over here, so everything's going well here. They should break soon. We should have a 2-on-1 here in the middle as well. They are breaking, or they're waving. He's bringing those auxiliaries across now, those Indian auxiliaries. And you can see they've got a greater length of fire. He's still got nearly all of his men left out of the original 60 that he had in there.